Hello once again. This is the Wednesday Night Warriors. I am Romeo. This is my co-host Chris G.
With Mary Jane.
And we are the Warriors that watch 4 hours of wrestling every Wednesday in just 2 hours. And then we're going to tell you which show is better between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite. This week we are covering the July 22nd editions of both shows. But before we get into all that, do us a solid. Like this video, subscribe if you're new, and share this video if you can to get other people involved in watching these videos. And comment on this video. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions, which may or may not be the same, but most likely not the same. Let's start, as we usually do, going over the ratings from last week, July 15th. And in this case, NXT's 3-week win streak was snapped by 157,000 viewers. AEW had 788,000 viewers. They are up 73K from the previous week. NXT had 631,000 total viewers. They are down 128,000. And when you see something like that, so drastic, when you get that big a number, you got to look at what else was on TV. The only thing I could find was NASCAR. They're not usually on Wednesdays, and they do attract a older audience, the over 50, anyone? NASCAR had 2 million viewers. And in the 50 demographic, they did a 1.36 demo. Wow. Any thoughts on that before we continue?
There's that many people that watch fucking NASCAR?
I would think on a Sunday, which is their usual day, it's even much higher. But a Wednesday night, they did 2 million.
So you're trying to tell me that NASCAR is more exciting than wrestling?
It's all about the down south. That's what they watch. They love this shit.
Oh, maybe I have to start watching Left Turns more often.
Yeah, I'm not going to get started on the sport of car racing, but, driving around in a circle, children can do that. Come on. I said I wasn't going to get into it, and I got right into it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended any NASCAR fans. You're entitled to enjoy whatever you enjoy. We enjoy Wednesday night wrestling. We just happen to enjoy that. On the Wednesday Night Warriors scoreboard, we vote quality, which show was better. Last week, both of us, right here on the Wednesday Night Warriors, we picked NXT as the better show. And, oops, we forgot to put the poll in the Facebook group to see what show you guys enjoyed more. But it's not a disaster because your vote wouldn't have changed the outcome. NXT still wins. So the Wednesday Night Warriors scoreboard, as long as we've been doing this, it's now tied 3-3 NXT AEW with 1 tie. Let's get into these shows. We'll start with NXT. Keith Lee talks about opportunities for others because he got an opportunity. He vacates the North American Championship, and William Regal tells us it'll be a series of triple threat matches where the winners will be added to a ladder match at NXT TakeOver XXX, aka TakeOver 30, which will be the night before SummerSlam, for the vacated North American Championship. So, the double champ, the champ, Keith Lee, 2-title Keith Lee, lasted what? 2 weeks? In my opinion, bad job by NXT not sticking with what they built up to as a crescendo, the double champ. You see New Japan, they still have their double champ. Naito dropped it to Evil. Champ. What the hell is going on, Chris?
Good question. I have no idea why they would just pull the trigger. Maybe they just want to build as best card as they can for the takeover.
I can understand that.
TakeOver 30 does kind of seem like a big takeover. I mean, anything 30, WrestleMania 30 was big. TakeOver 30 kind of has a special feel to it. So to put the best card together, what are you going to have? A fucking ladder match. And what's that ladder match going to be? for the vacant North American title.
Which they have done before at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, a ladder match for the North American Championship. I think that was the first North American champion, right?
Yeah, which was a good match. It had Ricochet, EC3, Adam Cole, I believe Velveteen Dream, Killian Dane, and like Lars Sullivan or some shit.
Oh man, you are throwing some names out there.
Yeah, a couple jabronis.
AEW starts off with the open challenge for the TNT Championship, Cody. And shout out to Matt_Awesome17, the one and only Matt Awesome, who correctly guessed that Eddie Kingston would be his opponent. He might have had some inside information there. I don't know. Eddie Kingston comes out, cuts a promo. I thought a very good promo. He basically challenges Cody for this match to be no DQ. Cody accepts. Decent match. Cody eventually gets powerbombed through thumbtacks that Eddie Kingston somehow knew was under the ring, or he planted it. I don't know. First time in AEW, he knows where the thumbtacks are. Figure 4, Cody somehow survives from the thumbtacks. He hulks up. Figure 4 for the win. What do you think about this match, the promo, and do you want to see more of Eddie Kingston in AEW?
So I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be Eddie Kingston. They probably did have some. Your boy Matt, he probably did have some inside info.
He's not slick.
Yeah, but no. Obviously, if you know Eddie Kingston, if you've seen him before, you know he's gonna talk some shit and he's gonna put on some good promos. And you know he's very intense. He brings the fire. He brings the heat. I like it. I personally would like to see him in AEW more, but not as a performer and not as an in-ring performer. I would like to see him as a mouthpiece for somebody or a tag team. Shit, I would take Santana and Ortiz out the inner circle eventually and team him with Eddie Kingston.
He used to be a mouthpiece for them.
Well, when they were LAX, and I mean that worked. That worked for them. They don't really need it, but I mean, you go back to that history, it could be kind of dope. The match itself was pretty fucking physical. The thumbtacks were a little unnecessary, but
whoa, something unnecessary in a Cody match? What the hell are you talking about?
I'm starting to see the trend of like the unnecessary things that he pulls out that he doesn't necessarily need to. But I mean, I understand he wants to make the moment feel big. Every moment has to feel big. Every match needs to feel important. He needs color, damn it. But I liked the match. It was physical. They beat the shit out of each other. That was my liking.
Dexter Loomis versus Killian Dane is the first match on the card. They continue to build Dexter Loomis here. He has to be in that ladder match, I guess. Loomis wins. 92% of you on the True Heel Heat Instagram story, you picked Dexter Loomis to win. Good job. I couldn't concentrate. I was very distracted by Killian's torn shirt on his waist. It looked like a thong coming out of his pants. He looked like Killian Lita. What'd you think?
So, first Loomis comes out looking like he just finished his weekly abduction. But I love his presentation, man. He's like so creepy. He's a solid in-ring competitor. Like the way he just does certain moves, he has his own style.
I do like his moveset.
Yeah, it's very unique. And
but somehow he's a babyface.
Yeah, I mean it's just, but people are drawn to him. You know, he's like can't explain.
And he's drawn to us because he draws us drawings.
Yeah, figuratively and literally.
I need more of that. Because
Yeah,
that's the only part of the character we know. Is him
but
drawing stuff and
we have
abducting.
to keep that. We have to keep that exclusive. We can't do it.
Yes,
we can't do it every
mysterious
episode. Every once in a while, he pull out a drawing out of his ass of a tree and somebody. I don't know. But
other than that, the only way he expresses himself to us is with his stone cold blue eyes.
Yeah, and kidnapping prowess. But yeah, Harriet. The commercial. There was a commercial break. Kind of fucked me up. Of course, first of the commercial. NXT, always fucking me up. But when it got back, it was still good action. Killian Dane was distraction. I've never seen a man have a patch of hair on his rib cage before. Wow. Just on his rib cage. He is a very spotty creature. But I mean, it was a good match. It was physical. Another match where they beat the shit out of each other. It seemed like the first few matches that it showed, everybody's just beating the shit out of each other. And I love it.
MJF makes his entrance. He cuts a promo on Griff Garrison.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
He's a AEW Dark Legend.
I know. He's also on BTE, and that was the bit. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Griff Garrison, AEW Dark Legend, as I mentioned. The guy who claims he's from an Ivy League school, Ivy League MVP, but as Taz says, he did not go to an Ivy League school at all. MJF is a real dick throughout this match. He gets on the mic. He's begging Griff to tell him he's undefeated. Eventually, Griff gives in, and MJF wins. They continue to build up MJF as they should. He should be the top heel of this company, if he's not already.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really, but maybe besides Jericho, there's nobody else that's really a bigger heel than him. And I like the extended squash. You know, this guy got a little offense in, and I like how they teased that MJF was undefeated, and that one roll-up pin had you thinking that they were going to get you with the 3 count and end the streak. So it was cool for what it was, and MJF is a dick, but I love it.
The team of Everrise versus Breezango. Breezango continues their entrance change every week according to who they're facing. They mock control them. I enjoy the effort put into their entrances. This week they did some Mountie entrances to mock the fact that these guys are Canadian, I guess. No heat here, no storyline, just a random match. Breezango wins.
I'm just gonna light my blunt.
Aaliyah versus Shotzi Blackheart. I admire Aaliyah's effort to add to her moveset, but the execution is still not crisp or smooth. I love Shotzi and her energy, and she looked good. Tony Khan gets on the apron. Shotzi kicks him off. Khan lands on his foot brace and hollers in pain. Shotzi wins with a senton off the top rope. Shotzi then runs over, not Tony Khan, Robert Stone, sorry. Robert Stone. She runs over Robert Stone again with a tank. More hollering, but Mercedes Martinez, Puerto Rico.
I'm about to break out that adobo.
Well, you're a Trump supporter?
Oh, that's right. But I'm sorry, I can't boycott Goya products. They're too good. And cheap. Oh, there we go.
Mercedes Martinez kicks Shotzi in the face. Later on in the show, I'm just going to say it now since we're a smooth transition. Later on, she tells Robert Stone that she needs someone to take care of all the behind-the-scenes work and to not overstep his boundaries, because she will rip his arms and legs off. Mercedes Martinez has joined the Robert Stone brand. The whole time, we thought Killian Dane was going to be the one to join the brand. And out of nowhere, it's Mercedes Martinez.
I told you he was going to land somebody big. But I'm not completely lost on Killian Dane yet, because in the commentary they did say that Robert Stone was the one who advocated for him to get that match. So there's still a little bit of a tease that they might align. I'm happy for Mercedes. I'm happy for Robert Stone, even though he got fucking his other foot ran over like a Jericho. As for the match itself, though, I agree with you. Aaliyah did try her best effort. She does look a lot better. She does look like she improved a lot from a couple years back when she was jobbing out to everybody. But she still does need a little work. That's why she's at NXT. So I think she might be all right. And,
we're in the Wednesday night war. It's NXT versus AEW. Sometimes you forget that NXT is somewhat of a developmental brand.
Yeah.
So all these okay, you got the guys that know what they're doing, but then you're also trying to get the guys to keep up with them and match them and learn and develop. And Aaliyah's one of those.
Yeah. I think that's across the board in WWE programming as well, though. Even on Monday with guys like Austin Theory. And
when they call up people too quickly is what you mean?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get the young guys exposure too. Sometimes, they don't really have a choice in terms of a pandemic, everything going on. So
Taz explains why he threw the towel last week at Fight for the Fallen against Shawn Moxley on behalf of Brian Cage. He says it was a business decision. Brian Cage is not that much of a machine if his bicep is pretty weak, huh? That's what I want to say.
Oh, well, he's damaged goods.
Darby Allin comes out, but is absolutely wasted by Ricky Starks from behind. Darby ricochets off the ropes, almost gets decapitated. Cage then destroys him with a powerbomb on the ramp, and then a powerbomb thrown into the ring. Ricky Starks joins up with Taz and Cage. They got a nice little group here. Moxley with the save with a barbed wire baseball bat.
Well, you asked for it, pal. You got it.
Yeah.
You wanted Taz to have a little stable. You know, it's not a full
think Starks
stable
is
yet,
perfect.
but I think he's perfect too. He's a perfect mid-card guy that they could build around. They could keep building him up. And he got that swag. He came out fly as shit. My man Ricky Starks ready for prime time. And, you know, Cage is a beast. And Taz is a mouthpiece, even better.
We see a video package on Isaiah Swerve Scott on NXT, where we learn a little bit more about him. He talked a little of his childhood and how much he loves music. He's in the studio, he compares music to wrestling. More of this. Let us learn more about these people. And definitely push this guy because he delivered in that Johnny Gargano match. And he does talk about Johnny Gargano. And it sounds like they're setting him up to chase Santos Escobar, the Cruiserweight champion, perhaps at TakeOver.
I know Leo Rush is somewhere banging his fucking head against the wall because WWE did not give him this storyline. Because he probably could have did something.
You know, Leo Rush is all about his music.
All about his music. But I'm happy that Swerve is actually getting like a backstory. He's getting some character. They're bringing him, you know, in front of people. He's getting some exposure. So hopefully if this does lead to a match at TakeOver, I don't think he'll win, but it would be a good match between him and Santos Escobar.
On Dynamite, they announced a 16-woman tournament, 8 tag team tournament. It's called Deadly Draw. It'll happen this summer, I guess pretty soon here. This is, I guess, a good way to showcase the women's division that has been sort of dormant. They have a lot of women just sitting on the sideline doing nothing. But if this is going to lead to Brandy and Allie being tagged, you know, winning this, relax, please. Enough. Hopefully it's somebody else.
Well, this makes sense why they fucking squashed the Jabronettes a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, I mean, I like the idea, to be honest, because I think they do have a deeper roster than people think. Maybe not, you know, fucking talent across the board is mainstream talent, but, you know, they have a lot of green women and shit. But it's a good way to get them some TV time and put a spotlight on the women's division. Hopefully at least it's something good.
The first of several triple threat matches to see who will be added to the North American title ladder match at TakeOver 30. It's Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed versus, holy shit, our first appearance of the Undisputed Era since Keith Lee won. I thought they were all going to the main roster, but Roderick Strong is still in the scene for now. I really just wanted to see Roderick Strong versus Johnny Gargano. And holy shit. Bronson Reed wins this with a splash off the top rope onto Roderick Strong. Johnny Gargano is not pleased on Twitter afterwards, as you can see right here. They're going to have to prove me wrong with this decision, because I would rather see Strong or Gargano in this ladder match, not Bronson Reed. Not a good way to start off the ladder match with the first participant being Bronson Reed, in my opinion. But what a match. I thought this was a good match, though.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. They made Bronson Reed look really strong, so credit to Roddy and Johnny. But I would have went Gargano. I think Gargano probably would have been the best choice to go. I get why they want to put Bronson in that match, though, because they want to try to push their younger stars, you know? Some fresh faces, you know, see if they could spark something.
The Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the Blade in a Falls Count Anywhere match. They start in the kitchen. This match escalates very quickly because Blade is super kicked onto an escalator. You see what I did there?
Oh, that was good.
They eventually fight their way to the ring. If Blade was supposed to dive over the ropes and go to that table on the outside, he missed by a country mile. Dueling Spot Monkey dives off of the entrance structures onto 2 tables by the Young Bucks for the win. Absolutely beautiful. And 100% of you true heels pick the Young Bucks to win. Good job.
Yeah, I get. I've been cutting ass on the Butcher and the Blades outfits. But I seen them like that whole beginning kitchen scene. First of all, before they fought, they were working with the meat and then they washed their hands first, which is great. I was like, oh, all right, they're fucking professional, and they got the aprons on and shit. I'm like, oh, they got the truck. It makes sense. These motherfuckers. All right, but the match was great. It was a car crash, but I loved it. I fucking loved it. They hitting each other. They're hitting each other with ground meat and shit. Like it was chaos all over the place, but it was creative. That was the most I've ever been interested in the Butcher and the Blade. So
the Butcher and Blade has been very surprising. I checked our match of the night counter, and they're towards the top. We'll reveal like where the standings are at when we get more
episode 10.
You know? Yeah.
Episode 10.
Yeah. By the way, this is episode 8, I believe.
8. Yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, they're right there towards the top. They've had a couple of banger matches.
Yeah. They're starting to break out a little bit.
But they still look stupid. You said that.
I agree, but now it makes sense. Now I get it.
Timothy Thatcher versus Oni Lorton. This is a rematch of their Great American Bash encounter, which you had as match of the night, by the way. Timothy Thatcher wins this, although not by submission this time, with a pin while Lorcan had a shoulder hold on Timothy. How did you like this match versus the match you had as match of the night? It felt like they had more time this time.
Yeah, I actually like this match more because they had a little bit more time, and there was more of the same with the wrestling and the chain wrestling and the grappling and the submissions, but they also had times where they were just chopping the shit out of each other. I liked it, and the finish was creative, a little dirty finish. Apparently he pulled his tights for leverage, they showed the replay. So I'm just gonna propose maybe a submission match at TakeOver.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That'd be dope.
And as usual, Oni Lorcan on Twitter afterwards is not pleased.
All caps.
All caps. Yo, if you're not following Oni Lorcan on Twitter, you gotta make a pimp decision. You have to follow him.
You don't have a Twitter. Have a Twitter. Just make one just to follow Oni Lorcan.
I have notifications on. Whenever he tweets, I get the notification. As well as Robert Stone, might I add, because Robert Stone, I should mention it now. I forgot to mention it earlier. He's tweeting. He's tweeted The Rock, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think Batista, I'm not sure. All these top megastars, and it's all the same exact message. Hello, would you be interested in joining the Robert Stone brand? Something like that shit. We'd like to talk to you. We enjoy your work. We enjoy what you're doing. It's so stupid, and it's great heel stuff on Twitter. Over on AEW, Lance Archer is taking out some trash. He's just beating up some random people. He throws some dude straight through the ceiling.
Yo, he was pissed off. He was pissed. You know how Jake described it. That's why he was beating everybody up. But yo, when he put that motherfucker through the ceiling, I could not stop laughing. I was not expecting that. It made me go, oh, he really just did
that shit had to hurt.
Oh, it looked painful.
Diamante versus Ivelisse.
Oh yeah, take another one. Another one.
Diamante versus Ivelisse, competitive match, very competitive. And once again, AEW pulls the rug out under you when it looks like they're pushing Ivelisse. Diamante wins with the inside cradle. This was very close poll on the True Heel Heat Instagram. 50% of you were split down the middle. These two should just team up in that tag team tournament. Right?
They're not in it? Were they not in the graphic? Well, I believe that they put the brackets up. But
they did? I might have missed that if they did.
I think they did real quick, but I didn't get to see the names. I was just like, oh shit. But I think in the package when they were showing it, they showed the brackets. So I'm sure they got to be in it in some capacity. It was another physical match. They beat the shit out of each other. They had one spot outside where they just I don't know, it just felt awkward. But other than that, the match itself was solid.
Hangman Adam Page versus 5 of the Dark Order. I asked you true heels because Hangman, we all knew Hangman was going to win. So I asked you how long would this take for Hangman to win? The most common answer was 5 minutes. But there wasn't also an option for longer than 5 minutes, and that's what this match went. It went almost 6 minutes. Hangman wins, obviously. Brody Lee after expresses his concerns for Hangman. He gets in Page's head about Kenny Omega not being there for him, which is a good point. Hangman, declines joining up with the Dark Order because it's a cult. Dark Order then attacks Page. FTR with the save. Kenny Omega eventually comes out, but he's OD late. FTR handshake Page and then give him a beer. What a couple of nice guys. This is good storytelling.
There's great storytelling.
Okay. You want to say great? It's great. All right, fuck it. Fuck it. It's great.
So Colt Cabana comes out with the Dark Order, right? From now on, his name will be Colt Cabana.
I see what you did there.
It's only right. Number 5 actually isn't that bad though. Alan Angels, I believe.
I mean, he lasted more than 5 minutes. Give him credit.
Yeah, I mean he's all right. He's not bad, but he's part of the Dark Order.
Oh man, me and the Dark Order, we have our differences.
I love the Dark Order. They're funny.
I love the concept of the Dark Order, but the execution sometimes, meh.
It's getting better.
NXT main event time. Karrion Kross versus Dominic Dijakovic. Kross eventually kicks the steel steps into Dominic's arm on the outside after a bit of action. Very dirty. Keith Lee comes out not pleased because Dominic is injured with his arm. Kross in the ring nails some vicious shots to Dominic, who refuses to give up. Dominic looks at Keith Lee, shakes his head no. He's going to continue to fight. Kross smiles at Keith Lee on the outside as he just continues to destroy Dominic. I fucking love this. No spoilers, I promise you. But this reminded me of something in the PS4 game, The Last of Us 2. No spoilers. If you know, you know. Karrion was just so evil here. What a heel! Some might say a true heel. He locks in his submission, and the ref calls for the bell. Keith Lee tends to Dominic as Kross just looks at him like an asshole. This match, I was excited for the match to happen because I thought they were going to go at it, but stupid me. This was more of an angle eventually than it was a match. They didn't really let Dominic go. This was more of an angle to make Karrion Kross look like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, which I don't mind because what they did in the match was still good. And it's like a taste, so they when they come back to that, it's just gonna be that.
Yes,
much
hopefully
better.
down the line, yeah. They really get to have a match.
They have no choice. They have to go back to that. After that fucking beating he took, I'm coming back from after. So he better come back. Great storytelling, Karrion Kross. I mean, that is one way. That's how you have to close the fucking show. You have to have him looking as evil and as badass as possible. And Scarlett, 5 stars.
AEW main event time. It's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. This match is an actual tag team match because Chris Jericho and Jake Hager are not doing that car crash spot fest shit. I assure you. Serpentico interferes with a baseball bat on Luchasaurus. Jericho with a code breaker for the win. 73% of you picked Jericho and Hager to win correctly. Then there's an inner circle beatdown on all of Jurassic Express. The mask comes off of Serpentico, and it's Sammy Guevara, the return. He's back. The inner circle is complete once more. Orange Cassidy comes out, and the Best Friends also come out. They send the inner circle away. and the Inner Circle gives them the middle finger salute. 10-man tag for next week.
I really, really wanted to make a point that this was not a car crash.
Because look who's in it.
But
These old guys ain't gonna do that shit.
But you realized it. But it was a good tag team match. And I really wasn't expecting a return. Like,
no.
This shit just came out of nowhere.
But it has been a month.
It has, and I just, with everything going on, you never know. I didn't know when they were going to bring him back. So I wasn't expecting it this soon. But I'm glad to see him back because I like Sammy G. I think he's good.
When you saw Serpentico come out, did you have any hint?
Oh no, it was Sammy
that
G
it
all
might
the
have
way.
been him?
Oh, it had to be. Who this fucking?
They were like, "Oh, he's joined the Inner Circle." I was like, what? Get the fuck out.
Yes, Serpento Brony, get out of fucking nowhere and join the Inner Circle. Yeah, all right. Okay.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't watch AEW Dark.
Yeah. Even if I watch AEW Dark, who the fuck is this guy? I wonder if he was Serpentico this whole time.
Because I haven't seen him before.
I think he's had like 2 or 3 matches on AEW Dark.
I don't think so. I think Sammy was honestly attending his whatever classes he needed, whatever management he needed for his, wanting to bleep Sasha Banks. Let's not get into that. I'm sorry. That was very drunk guy JJ. I mean, let me stop.
Could have been worse.
Any more notes on this show that I may have skipped? There were some segments that I skipped just because I didn't think they were important.
Finn Balor vignette basically said he's going to be in a triple threat match next week. And he's going up against Timothy Thatcher.
And Loomis. And that's crazy, considering that they're pushing Loomis and Thatcher both to the moon. And then you got Finn Balor.
And you got Finn.
And somebody's got to win.
If Finn fucking loses, he might as well just call it quits.
No, but he could lose without being in the result.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter.
Who are they going to have win that match? I have no fucking idea. That's going to be a tough pick.
I mean, that's good on NXT to make that match.
Match of the night. I had Young Bucks versus Butcher and the Blade, but then Reed versus Gargano versus Strong was also solid without the gimmick match. So you know what? Fuck it. Both of them are match of the night.
I was feeling the same way. I asked myself, do I really want to make 2 matches of the night? But
come on, you can do it. It's okay. 2 is fine as long as you don't go fucking 3.
No. I mean, if I had to put 1A, 1B, 1A would be the tag team match.
But it sounds like both won, so you might
but
as well just do both.
The triple threat match was really fucking good. So.
And it was, and it wasn't a gimmick match, so it almost equals out.
Nah, fuck that. I'm going to the tag team match.
MVP, I am going to go for that dastardly son of a bitch who, oh my god, I hated him so much. Karrion Kross. Good heel heat. Some might say true heel heat. Who is your MVP?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the same one, Karrion Kross. Guy, he ended NXT. That's the way you end it. Just looking like a complete fucking monster.
Jabroni of the night. I'm going to go to the man who gave in to MJF. What a pussy. Griff Garrison.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
The Ivy League MVP that is not even from an Ivy League school.
I thought Jungle Boy had a growth spurt.
MJF was also confused. He thought that was Jungle Boy.
Jungle Man. No.
Yeah.
My jabroni tonight is the guy that got put through a fucking sheetrock ceiling.
I don't even know what his name is, though.
Me either, but he has one hell of a headache. I'm sure he has to get a fucking CAT scan.
Wow, you know what? I'm gonna have to write this down under the list. The guy that got put through the ceiling.
Yo, fuck it. We're gonna find. You know what? Now we're gonna find out his real name.
How the fuck am I gonna find that out?
I'll wait. I wake up early. I was trying to do some research.
If you know, please put it down in the comments if you know who that was that got thrown through the ceiling by Lance Archer. Show of the night. I got a lot of fucking heat. A lot of heat from our viewers. Oh, Romeo, you pick NXT all the time. Do you even watch AEW? Like, you're so biased. You're so biased, Romeo. You know what? Fuck you, guys. Fuck you, guys. I give you a reason every single week I pick NXT. I give you a reason. And by the way, our pilot episode number 1, I picked AEW. But nobody said, oh, Romeo, good pick. Good pick, Romeo. Oh, man, you really nailed it with that one. No, they just complain about every single week I pick NXT. I pick AEW. That's a better show tonight. So you know what? Come at me now. Get at me, dog, as DMX once said. Get at me, dog. What's your show tonight, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going with AEW too. Yeah. I have no other words. We're going to AEW.
All right, so this week we promised to put up the Facebook poll.
Hopefully.
If you think NXT won, go right ahead, vote for NXT. I won't be mad at you. But AEW won this week, I thought, pretty easily. This show, this Wednesday Night Warriors, is being recorded the day after both shows happened on a Thursday. So we have the ratings for these shows. So let's just get right into it. July 22nd, Dynamite, NXT, and this is brutal. AEW, holy shit, 845,000 total viewers. They're up 57,000. NXT, 615,000 viewers. They are down 16K. That is a difference of 230,000 viewers. What a blowout!
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Where the fuck are all these NXT fans going? Are they watching AEW or are they just not watching NXT at all?
I didn't watch both shows live. I'll be honest. I was not a true Wednesday Night Warrior. I watched DMX versus Snoop Dogg. That was my Wednesday Night War. Holy shit! What a war it was! What a show! Oh. Maybe all the over 50-year-olds were watching that because DMX and Snoop Dogg, they had their time, a lot of years ago. So now AEW is up 33-8 with one tie in the ratings war. I have a couple of other things I would like to discuss that has happened since last night, Wednesday night. They had an AEW post show. It was Excalibur, Jim Ross, and Taz, and they talked about how JR said DVR NXT. AEW is the better show. Taz agrees with JR. What else did he say? Oh, Taz was complaining about all the people online that talk about how dare you talk about, NXT. Why do you always bring them up? And just Taz was like, we're not trying to insult your intelligence about the ratings war, so we will talk about it, even though NXT doesn't really acknowledge AEW except for when they did the first episode on the Wednesday Night War, the first episode head to head. WWE put out a statement saying congratulations to AEW on their premiere. And I think the only other time they mentioned AEW was Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw, very hilariously. I think they completely ripped that out on the network version.
Probably.
I don't think Vince McMahon was happy about that. But, Chris, your thoughts about JR saying DVR, NXT, and Taz being what he said about insulting your intelligence or not insulting your intelligence.
I think everybody should be a fucking Wednesday night warrior.
Yeah,
like
goddamn right.
Like
you watch both at the same time. You don't DVR shit.
No.
You watch both at the same time. Like
fuck
us.
your DVR. And fuck your cable company too. That's besides the point.
These guys are trying to put us out of business.
That's besides the point. We're not going to get into that. The point is, he's actually kind of right. If I had the option to DVR NXT, I would rather watch AEW.
But if you think AEW is superior, wouldn't you want to start with NXT since it's less superior, and then lead your way up to AEW, which is the better show? Isn't that how it goes?
No,
you go from bad to better.
No, I would just catch the good show full on.
You like the way I tried to spin that?
Yeah. You tried. You tried. It was a good try.
In my opinion, NXT doesn't have to mention AEW for shit. Why? Just run your show. Do your show. Who cares? Just do your show. Like, am I bugging? Is that a bad? Like, Taz to me looked like such a simp.
No. Well, I think what Taz was getting to, because what I felt he was saying is that WWE as a whole tries to insult your intelligence. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that. They do.
Yeah. But that's where his frustration comes from, because when you think about it, since AEW has existed, they try their best not to insult your intelligence. You know? Besides not selling shit. But that's part of the match. That's different.
But here's the thing, Chris. Like, okay, us as True Heel Heat, should we acknowledge other podcasts? Should we talk about them and say, yeah, we're not insulting your intelligence?
I don't acknowledge none of these motherfuckers. If it ain't True Heel Heat, it ain't shit.
So that's my point.
Ooh, don't get me hot.
That's my point. And it's complete opposite of Taz. Like, you don't have to mention the competition. It's not necessary. It's like, okay, you can insult your
competition. What competition? There's no fucking competition. Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about AEW.
Like, I don't know. Just Taz seemed like a goof. I love Taz. I want to root for Taz. I love Taz. But it seemed like such a goofball to me right there when he's talking about, we're not insulting your intelligence. We're going to talk about WWE. You don't have... Even AEW doesn't have to talk about WWE. Come on, just do your show.
I mean, he's an emotional dude. He holds a bit of feelings.
The pride of Red Hook.
Don't get too close to the water.
Adam Cole was on the Pat McAfee show, and he blew up. He got really mad at Pat McAfee. I guess, Pat McAfee was talking about how Undisputed Era helps him all the time and how Adam Cole is short. And Adam Cole was like, fuck you, or something like that. He was like, shut the fuck up, something like that. And then he eventually, pushes a guy who tries to get up to him. And he really blew up. And that blew up all over Twitter today. A lot of people, Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet was wondering if that was a work or a shoot. What was your thoughts on what happened with that? By the way, Adam Cole, we still don't know what's going on with him. Are you coming up to the main roster or what? This is our first big Adam Cole news since then.
I don't know. I think it has to be a work. There's no way, because they've always jabbed back and forth whenever Pat used to show up on takeovers and shit. So I don't know what to think of it. I'm pretty sure it's a work. I just feel like it's a work. I appreciate the F-bombs, though.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
SB3 calls me the connoisseur of all reporting, and I am reporting right here on Wednesday Night Warriors that this was a work. I spoke to my sources, which is me. I'm the source. Absolute fucking work. Adam Cole is a professional. He would not do this shit to ruin his image or WWE's image or NXT's image. He and Pat McAfee probably worked this out. He probably likes Pat. And I was like, he got him some good publicity for his show, basically. And that's the Romeo report for this episode. Next week, looking ahead, AEW, of course, announces their whole card. Inner Circle versus Best Friends and Friends. And their other friends are the Jurassic Express. Also, Darby Allin and Jon Moxley versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Kenny Omega and Adam Page will defend their tag team titles versus Evil Uno and Grayson of the Dark Order. Cody will once again have a TNT title defense. And NXT just announced one match. We spoke about it earlier. Balor versus Loomis versus Thatcher. Which match out of all these are you looking forward to most next week?
Well, a few of them. I think the Cody match, because I'm always intrigued to see who's going to be the next challenger. I like the surprise element of it. But the triple threat match sounds like it's going to be different. So I'm really intrigued by that.
Yes, I will agree with you because I have no idea who the hell is going to win that. All right. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Pride of NY. You can also catch me on True Rewind, mostly every Monday or Tuesday, depending how busy of a week it is. We are currently in 1995, following the aftermath of Halloween Havoc. It is awful. It is awful. But suffer with us, watch with us, please. Help us out. Anything you want to plug, Chris?
You can find me on Instagram at spic_flair_ woo 3 O's. 3 O's. And we still got one more week of July. Yeah, Joints and Jabronis probably come out next week.
All right, and as usual, except for last week when we fucked up, you can join the Facebook group True Heels, where we will put up a poll where you can decide what was the better show this week, AEW Dynamite or WWE NXT. And that is all for episode 8 of the Wednesday Night Warriors. Thank you for watching. We will be back next week.